Greetings, one and all, and welcome for the very first time on the channel to Novus Inceptio. At least I believe that's how it's pronounced. It could be horribly wrong, and I'm not going to attempt it again today, because honestly, I always get the pronunciation of things wrong the first try. That was my best guess, that's how I've heard a friend of mine say it, so that's how we're going with it. So this is a survival game, similar to games such as Ark and, well, actually countless other survival games. It's a survival sandbox, with you being able to build in the world, being able to forage for food and water, and trying to generally survive. This game is in very early access in comparison to Ark or some other games like it, so there are still a few bugs here and there, and a few issues with the English, which I've noticed. I've played through half of the tutorial so far, just to make sure it is indeed a game I would at least enjoy, and once or twice the English was just about bad enough that it did cause some minor issues with me understanding what it was actually asking me to do. But getting over that, it was pretty simple to figure out eventually what I was meant to do, and it had no real impact. So as the title may suggest, and the description and pretty much everything, this is a game currently available on chrono.gg/laughland. That is an affiliate link, so if you go there and purchase the game, you will be contributing to the channel, and a small portion of that revenue will go towards me, so full disclosure there. The game is currently available at 67% off, which is $6.50. I had to look it up then because I always seem to get that wrong as well. That's the current deal available, and it will be available for the next 24 hours. So today we're simply doing a first impressions. We're going to go into the game and we're going to see if it's a game I will enjoy. Perhaps I can do some streams of it in the future if all of you enjoy it, and we're going to overall decide if it's a good or a decent game. So unlike Ark, it does seem to be trying to go for an MMO feel. As we continue, apparently lots of MMO style content will be added as the game does get, well, more fleshed out and more completed. Again, it's in very early access at the moment, so we'll try to be lenient, but we will also point out any flaws. The one thing I do want to say though is this game so far has ran incredibly well, which is really surprising. It's probably the first sandbox survival which has worked just completely well on my setup. And my setup isn't bad by any means, but it does seem to struggle with sandbox games. No idea why that is, but at least I can be happy about that. So, going into single player, going into a new game, let's just get into it. Apparently it's an Alpha 0.1 or something similar, just very briefly popped up. Greetings from the future. So I'm recording this little bit of footage the next day after getting the 3 hours of gameplay I put in to actually do the original video, because it turns out I really should have looked up a lot of the building stuff. I should have looked up a lot of the endgame content, because there's a lot of stuff I missed which would be unfair if I didn't mention. So very, very briefly, if you simply Google the name of this game, you will see a lot of the endgame progression, a lot of the building, a lot of the exploration, and there is loads to explore. But the main thing is the building itself, which is simply like this. Rather than in other sandbox survival games in which you build by creating the item and then placing them down, you go into this mode here, in which you take a bit of an eagle eye view, in which you can build like you were building something like Stonehearth, for instance. You can place down the items as you wish. Let's say I wanted to put a wall here, and then you go back into the real world, in which you can then go to the item and then build it there. So you can build blueprints. There's plenty more stuff you can build with. There's loads of recipes which are available, and sadly I didn't get access to any of them. It's one of those games in which first impressions is very difficult to do, because there's so much at the end of the game which takes so many hours to get to. It's as if I went into Ark, played for 3 hours, and then gave my final verdict, in which I had 2 dodos by my side and half of a hut. not really a very informed opinion. So I think there's a lot more to this game than I show in the first impressions. I wish I had more time with it, but sadly I got this game very late compared with usual, so I only had about 2 days before it came out on Chrono, and I was busy doing other games like From the Depths, so I couldn't put the time in. So sorry for this lengthy explanation. I just want to say there is loads to do endgame, there is loads of cityscapes and all sorts of stuff you can find by exploring, and all we kind of do is stay in this one area. At least we showed the basics. So I hope that perhaps sheds a different light on the rest of the video, and I hope you enjoy the video anyway. It was a lot of fun to record. So, back to the real-time past. Ooh. Okay, so here we are in the world. So the graphics aren't absolutely astonishing, to be honest, but they do at least do the job. This is on Ultra setting, I believe. Let's have a quick look-see. It doesn't show it here, but when you open the game, since this is a Unity game, it does give you all the options there, and yes, it's on maximum settings. I can just see it in the corner. You probably can't, because I'm doing recording stuff. So, all of the standard stuff applies here. We're just going over the very basics. Hold down Alt to go into cursor mode. You can look around by doing this, this, and that, and now we need to go to the waypoint outside of the tower, which is apparently the safe zone. You cannot fight here, and here is not possible to build. Here is not allowed to lay items on the ground. So as you can see, the English isn't perfect. For the most part, it's good enough. And obviously this is not made by an English game developer, so that's honestly to be expected this early game. It's not something which should be their main focus while finishing off the game. I'm actually quite happy as well that they're doing single player first before multiplayer, so it should be a little bit more balanced. You can swap between third person and first person. Hello, Doe. Now, it should be noted, normally when I do first impressions, I literally just go into the game for the first time. It's kind of weird knowing what's coming next, so I will probably be skipping quite a bit after we get started. So, we're now speaking about the basic foods. You have forage, and you have botanizing, and they'll give you different things depending on where you are. So, I've just had potato seeds, cherry, and something else. What did I get? Potato seeds, cherry, and I cannot pronounce that for the life of me. Some other form of herb. Okay, so next we're going to the next waypoint over here, which is, I believe we need to drink. Hello, birds. Oh, or eat. I mean, that makes sense as well. We can either eat from the menu, or we can put it down here. So on the bottom, we have all the usual stuff. We have hunger, thirst. I don't know what this one is. Total character status. Oh, fitness is affected by all other factors. Okay, fair enough. We have stamina, like I said earlier, and we have HP. So I've just put the food there. Nom nom nom, we're eating cherries. And everyone is happy. Press 4 to drink water. Okay, and now we go to the next waypoint, which is to gather water from the pond. Now, admittedly, I'm actually getting close to where I finished, so soon it'll all be new stuff, which is pretty good. I'm looking forward to the building element. From the reviews I've seen, the building is pretty good in this game, and if it is very good, then I think I'll have a good time with this game, especially as it gets... Oh, is that a wolf? As it gets continued in development and gets a bit more fleshed out. I can do speaking. Okay, so sometimes you do actually have to go and make the individual parts yourself, but that is only when there are multiple options for that part. For instance, right now we're making the head for the hammer, and we can make it out of wood, rock, or ingot. So right now it's telling me I should be making this out of wood. So sure. And apparently I should make 2 of them for some reason. So let's craft that. There we are, so now we have 2 heads of the hammer, which is apple tree wood, in fact, and now we can make the handle from yet another shaft. Do I actually have any more shafts left? I don't think I do, so let's go back to shaft, let's put in our pine wood this time, let's make 4 of them, why not? Okay, it's a little bit weird to get used to when you first look at this menu. It's all very... not badly handled, that's not at all what I'm looking for here, but it's very confusing for a beginner. But it's saying that, so was Ark, so not really too much of a criticism, just me being a derp. There we are, so now we need to make rope, which is this one here, and again, we can use different things. Or can we? You must make 2 fibers. Fibers you can make from leaves. Okay, so could I just make this one then? You'd not have enough raw materials for this production. Why not? Ah, because fibre itself can be made out of several things. Okay. I see what we're doing here. That's okay, so it seems like actually you do have to do this quite a bit, and it's not a good thing, honestly. For me, at least. For me, giving my honest opinion, even if people may think it's a bit tainted for obvious reasons, I do not like that system in the slightest. But I do understand where they're going with it. They're trying to make crafting a bit more advanced, in that... What are we crafting right now? The hammer. Okay, so... in that they want you to be able to do different parts separately so you can change your mind on things. Sorry for spending so much time here, by the way. I'll change and start cutting more again in a second. Handle goes there, rope goes there. Okay, so we need 2 heads for it. So there we are. We can now make ourselves a hammer. Yay! And put the hammer in the skill bar. Control 2. So it turns out I wasn't actually on the maximum settings. That's really weird. I could have swore I turned it on maximum earlier, but there is actually an option here in performance, and it's not a giant leap forwards, but it definitely looks better when everything's on maximum, and it seems like that was the tutorial over. So let's make some goals for ourselves, and if we go into the crafting menu, what can we make? We have high-tech stuff here, which I'm assuming we can start working with later. Apparently we need fossils to make calcium and silicon. We can also set waypoints with crystals, so that's pretty cool. We have farming stuff with fertilizer, straw, compost, all of the usual stuff, different types of seeds, which apparently we can make. And then we have workbenches, such as the forge, the kitchen, the alchemical lab, the sewing station, and the carpentry station. So what about, though? Is there anything we can do to make somewhere to stay? How do we build? How do we build the usual type of gubbins? You know, walls and all of that good stuff. Because I know you can. I know you can. So how? Ooh. I've just seen how you can make armor. That's pretty cool. If we can get some cloth. And we make cloth by using thread. The thread comes from fibre. Okay, so we can make essentially armor out of plants. The usual stuff there. Okay then, let's have that as a basic goal. Let's make a full set of armor. So we'll start off with the legs. So the legs want cloth, cloth, and fibre. The cloth itself, I keep on pressing one button there, just wants thread, so we need a load of fibre, which comes from any vegetable matter, so let's go and collect some leaves. Hello, tree. Give me some leaves. Which button is leaf? Resin. Okay. No, okay, that was branches. We need those as well, and apparently we can also cut it down now that we have an axe. Yeah, the game definitely looks better in first person. Well, I've just done a tiny little bit of research, and did you see the glowing lights there, or is it just me? Nope, there's definitely glowing lights. Well, I just did a little bit of research, and it turns out to build the buildings and such, you do need a carpenter's workbench, so that should be our major goal then. Let's see if we can build one of those. What on... oh, hello! Combat mode is F1, apparently. Okay. Not gonna kill me, so let's just carry on. It's after something, but thankfully not me. What is that? Is that going to be like a supply drop? Ooh, it's bright. What are you? Ah, little hair. How you doing, buddy? Oh, I can't kill for little adorable hair. Hello. You look kind of weird. Your front is far too small for a hair. Who cares? There's something here which is glowy. Ooh. Oh! I have no idea what you are, by the way. Okay, then. That was a teleportation to a cave. Foraging ash. If we botanize the area, though, we get nothing. I'm assuming we just get more and more ash as we go. Come on, let me up. Very reminiscent of Ark, this is, with the tech and everything. Okay, I really shouldn't be down here, should I? I'm trying to learn the basics here. Ooh, crystals. Can we collect those? No, we need a pickaxe. Okay, let's get back up to the surface and let's get back to making our armor. Back on the surface, and we just found some raw tin ore, nothing really worthwhile there, but even so. And one thing did occur to me, we do need to get some leather. I'm going to ignore that wolf, which seems to be, well, not aggressive, defensive by the looks of things. It gets really riled up as we're getting close, but it doesn't chase me. So, I'm going to assume it'll kill me if we get too close. Can I go back to first person in combat? Okay, yeah, so tab is for combat, F1 is just for third and first person. Did I mention this game is in early access? Because it's in early access. It's definitely in early access. So, pelt is E. Now we'll use our knife. And then we can also get some meat from it as well. Ooh, we got fat, eye, tooth, meat. Got a lot of stuff from that. So when a mommy deer and a daddy deer love each other very much. That's so terrible. Okay. Hi guys. How you doing? No, it's tab. There we are. You know what? Actually, no. Let's just leave them to it. Let's leave them to it. If we need some more stuff, we'll come back. Oh. Back to collecting leaves. Okay, there we go. That actually wasn't as difficult as I first thought it would be. We can now make the basic legs. In fact, we've just made the first set of basic legs, which are made out of leaves. They're made out of leaves. But look how amazing they look on me. Don't I just look the most dapper person ever with the slight clipping around the belt section, which sounds like a really weird, awkward euphemism, to be perfectly honest, but there we are. Okay, I think that's good enough. We now have leaf trousers. I mean, what more could we possibly need? I think next then we should go for something a little bit more higher end. Let's go for the carpentry station. So we need any hammer, which we have. We need nails, we need planks. So right now we have none of it, so let's have a quick look. So we need a saw, nails. Okay, so let's go for the nails first. We need 3 sets of them, which apparently we can just use wood. Sure, all of them, just craft. I can always make more of those later. Nail crafting failed. Oh, so sometimes you can just outright fail. Also, you make more than one of these. Okay, stop. How do I stop? There we go. We just have to move. Way too many nails there. Made way too many nails. So if we go to the carpenter station, let's autofill. Yeah, we have all the nails. So next we need planks. Planks are made out of logs. Logs can be obtained from a felled tree trunk. So I assume we can just cut down a tree to get that. Let's go for a large tree. Hello, tree. I'm going to break you down. There she goes. Did I mention early access? Okay, so now can we get the wood then? We can get branch, bark, or resin, or if we do this... there we go, we just get regular logs. I'll keep doing this until we have enough logs so we can make the planks, and then we shall continue. I do like this, though. I do like the fact you have to actually fell a tree first, and the tree actually falls, and you can then work on it. I like that. I'm actually keen to see where this game goes. I think, as it is currently, I don't think I'm going to end up playing it myself, at least for the channel. I might play it in my spare time a little bit just to see what's what, but I feel like it's got potential, and I really hope it lives up to it, because I really want a good survival game like this, which isn't Ark. I adore Ark, at the moment I'm taking a break from it, but I would like a more realistic one. So to make the planks, to make the crafting station, we do need a saw, and to make the saw, we need a blade, a handle, and some rope. The blade can be made out of rock, which apparently I do have, so let's make that straight away, there we are. The handle can be made out of a shaft, which I do actually have one spare. And then, what else do I need? I then need the rope, which needs some fibre, which I do also have. Yay, so I actually had everything needed. So, autofill everything and craft. So the quality then could be changed by any of these, I suppose. So I do like that. I do like the complexity element. That is a cool concept. I just wish it was a little bit faster, but perhaps that's just me and my impatience coming through. So, back to the workbench, back to the carpentry station. We have everything, but we don't have the saw. Wait, we do have a saw, don't we? Oh, do I actually have to lose a saw? Okay, so I need a spare saw to put in there, so I need to make a second one in a little while. But for now, let's use all the logs, and like that, let's make ourselves some planks. Once again, you make way more than it indicates. Wait, is there anywhere which actually indicates making that many? It just says plank. There's probably a number here, I'm just missing it, but apparently you make quite a few. Let's make 4 more sets. I don't want to use up all of my wood on this. And then I'll make another saw, and then we can make ourselves the workbench. Once you get used to the system of pressing previous recipe and going back and forth quickly, it really isn't too bad, honestly. It's really not too difficult to figure out what you're doing. So now we've made everything, just press that, and there we go, we've made the second saw, and so we can go to the carpentry station, and ooh, hello. Success rate is only 16% because of my skill being low. How do I improve that then? That's cool. Stats, skills. Oh, is it just a matter of doing the thing? So what would this be? This skill would be... Is it carpentry? Is there a carpentry here? Let's have a quick look-see. Okay, so we're currently at 1.63. Let's craft this. At least try to. It'll probably fail. It failed. Apparently I can craft it again, though. But each time you can break some items. Like then I broke one of the nails. This time, though, I broke the saw. Okay. Yeah, the carpentry's increased. So just by doing the job seems to level them up. Okay, I understand that now, I understand that. So, I'll keep on trying it until I've made the station. I've just seen in the top left, apparently I am age 24, generation 1. Apparently at some stage I'm going to die of old age. That's a rather morbid and sad thing. But there we are, that is apparently my fate in this world. It's also taken me years to make trousers, and now even more years to do anything else. But hey, I've just found some stone. I mean, that's good, right? Ooh, what are these? Hello? Oh, crabs. Okay, we've also found crabs. I'm assuming you'll give us food. Oh, are you hostile once I kill your friend? No. You do have a good base attack, though. Oh, no, yeah, it does seem like they are going to attack me, just so you can kill them faster than they can hit you back. Oh, yep, that almost hit me then. So, let's go back to regular mode. I can get trophies and I can get meat. I will accept your meat. So this time, I'm making sure to make a lot of other stuff before I try to build the carpentry station again. So last time, I believe the success chance was 17%. So this time, using the same quality of stuff, I'm going to see if the percentage has changed. Now I'm about to hit level 3 carpentry. Will that make it any better? It also means I'm making a lot of these, because thankfully, branches are fairly easy to find. Okay. So what are we still missing with that? Just the saw, I believe. Yep, success rate now is 31%, so clearly this isn't really what we should be going for first, but since I just want to put this down somewhere and see how it works, I just want to see it. So we're going to go with this and just going to try to be lucky. Wait, I've already made the blade, haven't I? Yes, I have, so I need to make the handle, which is made out of the shaft. Once again, we can make this into max, so loads of levels for making loads of these handles. Let's see if we can get to perhaps level 5 before we try again. Oh, I see. So this little number here is what it wants you to have. So carpentry /10. 10 is the level you need to have 100% success rate, and that's why I'm 45% of the skill towards it. Now I understand that. Okay, that makes sense. There's also a little quality bar in the in the bottom right here, and I assume that could be to do with both my level and the stuff I'm using, because I'm currently using wooden nails to try and make this. I mean, it works. You can actually do it in real life. I've done that in real life. But, you know, metal nails are kind of cool as well. Probably going to break something. Let's see if we can make it this time. If not, it at least levels up our carpentry a little bit. You've earned Carpentry Station. Yay, we managed to do it. Fantastic. A little bit dark now. Hopefully it's coming out okay in the video. And apparently I'm also cold. I'm cold and thirsty, so let's take a drink of this lovely cold water, which I'm sure will have no issues at all. Also, we're currently in Creature Level Zone 1 out of 2. Sorry, 1-2, I should say. So, this is a fairly safe area. That's probably why we haven't been attacked by vicious animals. Only somewhat defensive wolves and somewhat angry crabs. Not the most vicious of things. Okay, so pressing 5. How do I actually place the Carpentry Station, then? Place. No. Yes, place. Oh, I see. I just wasn't looking at the correct place. Let's put it there, so we have a nice view of the water. How do I rotate this? Oh, okay. I've just figured out how to rotate it, and then I instantly placed it. So, okay, it's fine, don't worry. Let's craft. So what's special about this then? Tables, beds, okay, there we are. That's everything I wanted. So we can have lights, we can have containers, we can have chairs, we can have benches, beds, tables, props, decorations. No walls and stuff, though. How do you make walls? That's my biggest interest, honestly. Walls, flooring, stuff like that. It's definitely shown in the trailer. Whoa. You need some... Wow, actually, no, I have everything for that. That's actually somewhat impressive. I did not expect that. So with lights, let's have a small one. Small static torch. I have the resin, I need some shafts. Really? I have no shaft? Oh, because I converted them all, didn't I? Okay, back in a second, I'm going to get some twigs, essentially, some branches from over here, and we're going to make ourselves our first light. Guess who found out how to build? So, this little ghost house here has just been placed by me, and it turns out that building this game is actually really cool. It's a really simple concept, but really, really helpful. So, instead of the usual, you build the wall in a station, then you simply place it, instead, once you have unlocked the recipes, by, for instance, building the carpenter station here, at least I believe that's how I unlocked them, but don't hold me to that at least, you then simply press B. This sends you to this overworld screen, in which you can just go ahead and add any item you wish. So let's say I want windows like this, in my little square box of happiness. And then we go to regular wall, and we can add some more regular walling as well. Controls are a little bit funny, but again, early access, what do you expect? Okay, that's exactly what I want. So we exit, and now we have all of that ghost blueprint in its place. We then go to a piece of the blueprint, so let's say we go inside, we go over here, and then we manufacture by pressing the left mouse button. We can then fill this in. Sadly, right now I have just run out of material, and then you build it like any other item, and it gets placed where it is. Although, after you've put the items in, you do have to click it again to confirm, so it does take a little while because you have to keep on clicking, but that's actually a really nice concept. I like that. That's a really easy to follow, easy to use system, and if they make it better, as in easier to control and just easier to access, I will absolutely love that. That is definitely the strong point of the game so far, and now I understand why my friend told me, just wait until you build, it's different, because it freaking is. I haven't seen any other sandbox mode which has done this, so let's end on a high note. I've been playing this now for about an hour and a half, and sadly I do have to get back into my usual videos, so I have been doing these in my spare time. This is my spare time, the first impression series, just playing random games, so I hope you've enjoyed it. I don't know how I feel about this game just yet. I think it's got a lot of potential, loads of potential now I've seen the building mode. I think that overall, it definitely needs a lot of polishing. The controls are a bit difficult. The crafting menu could do with a bit of just making it simpler, making it more obvious, a bit bigger, a bit more colourful, just to show what you're meant to be doing. And the graphics, again, just need to be polished up. But overall, I think it's got a lot of potential. I think in the future it could be a really good game. I really hope it is, because I want to see more sandbox survival games. It's one of those genres in which I still haven't found the ultimate game for me. Ark is the closest, and I'm hoping I'll find one which I get utterly addicted to in the future. So, if you have enjoyed, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that random games are something you would like to see on this channel. And if you would like to purchase this game and help my channel, help me, and of course support the developers, because that's how good Chrono really is, then of course go to chrono.gg/laughland. The link will be in the description. If you purchase, a small portion of that revenue will go towards me. That revenue is taken from Chrono, not taken from the developer, so you are helping out the developer, unlike some key sharing websites which are a bit more shady. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.